Yo fam, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. This is your weekly outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence for buying any stock or crypto asset. This is simply my research and due diligence that I'm sharing with you. With that being said, we're gonna hop in the charts, facts, data, show you guys what's going on based off of my research for this week. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe for daily and weekly streams and videos providing news about stocks, cryptos, meme stocks, and so much more. So let's go ahead and hop in and show you guys what's going on. We're going to talk about GME, AMC first, then we're going to go to SPY, and then Bitcoin, and then some altcoins. So here's what's going on here for GME. We're going to start off here with GME. So we're just going to quickly look here at the cost to borrow, 4.7 million shares. So they are loading up a decent amount of shares. Remember this week, guys, we got a lot going on. It's going to be crazy, and there's actually a lot happening in the news cycle as well. Make sure you guys check out the GME warrants video I put out on Friday. This video is out now. Make sure you guys check that out if you missed it. I put that out on Friday, and it is up now and available for watching. But if you guys don't know, this week's gonna be absolutely insane. Okay, so we have the AMC proxy vote. This week's wild. We have the proxy vote December 10th, all right? We're going to find out around December 11th, I believe, what the vote is, maybe shortly after that. But the deadline is going to be December 9th, December 10th, and we should get answers around the 11th or 12th. Then we have Q3 earnings for GameStop, ladies and gentlemen. I think GameStop's going to be profitable. This week is going to highly depend on GameStop earnings and this proxy vote on what the meme stocks do. But my analysis might show you guys what is going on and give you guys a depiction on what's happening into the future. But my analysis also depends on these going a certain way. GME needs to be profitable, which I believe it will. I think it's going to have a good earnings. And then AMC, the vote can kind of go either way. I think things have been priced in to a certain extent. But in my personal opinion, I think if we get a no vote, we would rally. Now, a lot of people discuss everything in the comments down below. I broke it down in so many other videos on why, even if you sold all the shares on AMC at once at $20, you wouldn't have enough to pay the debt. So paying the debt thesis from yes voters is debunked. Also, yes voters saying all of the shares won't be dumped at once, that's debunked. We know that the shares won't be dumped at once. They're actually locked up for at least 6 months. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. It's better to just dump all the shares at once. But selling at these low prices defeats everything, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm trying to drive into your skull, but I can't repeat this every single video. It would take up too much time. I've already broken down why the yes vote makes no sense in a whole entire video. But it would be better to sell all the shares, but the prices are too low. You would have to sell all the shares at $20 or higher to be able to even pay off the debt. And if you sold the shares at these low prices, you're just chipping at the debt, which has interest payments, which is going to grow the longer you have it. So it's nothing. It's just diluting your shareholder value and putting it into their pockets. That's all it's doing. So yes vote makes no sense, but hopefully we get the no vote. I've seen a lot of people in the poll I took vote no, and a lot of people are seeming to waking up, and they're tired of AA's BS, and they're starting to wake up to Adam Aaron. People even unsubscribed from me for saying that, but I just tell you guys the truth and tell you guys my opinion. But this is going to get wild, ladies and gentlemen. So GME earnings, and then we have also jolts, and then we have Fed interest rate decisions, and I believe rate cuts are going to be happening. They might be slightly priced in, but I believe a rate cut would be slightly bullish, and I'm going to break it down in SPY section as well, what I think is going to be happening this week. But overall, let's go ahead and hop into the technicals and show you guys what's happening there. We also have the Netflix news as well. If you guys haven't heard, Netflix is to acquire Warner Brothers. A lot of people are speculating, what does that mean for AMC? I think the movies are going to be kept alive, in my personal opinion. That's what I think it means. Also, if you haven't heard, in recent news, AMC is also just recently transferred out of its HYMC holdings and moved into another. Why didn't you just cash out? Because HYMC is up, man. But they moved into another one. They went from HYMC into SPROTT. Now, from what I'm looking at with the analysis I did, they still have some warrants on HYMC, but that's about it. They moved most of the majority holdings over. And there are details here for you guys if you guys want to see all of those details. But it was about 24.1 million moved. So this is what we're looking at. There's a lot of stuff going on for the meme stocks, but let's show you guys what the technicals are looking at and what we are looking at based off of the charts. Those are just news catalysts. Now, as you guys can see, GME I have set to push slightly up, pull back, and this could all happen this week and then rally back to the upside. It doesn't have to be this long drawn out process that I have shown here. This could happen very, very quickly. But with GME earnings, I believe that GME is actually going to, similar to when I predicted last GME earnings that we would get a rally, and we did get a rally. I believe that as long as we get these two profitable beats, which I do believe GME is going to be able to do another double beat, I think that we will see a decent rally this week, in my personal opinion, and GME push to the upside. So we do have this gap fill to the downside. If we do pull back, the targets to the downside are 2183 to 2204. We also have buy orders there as well. And as you guys can see, we have this fractal potentially in play. We also have this falling wedge in play right now, which is telling us that we're going to be heading back up to like 27, 28 bucks. So in my personal opinion, I don't think it's going to happen this week. It might even happen this week, like maybe later on in the week. But as far as the macro is concerned, I think GME's heading back to $28, $30. And you're going to have to understand that if GME heads towards $30 to $32, the warrants are going to increase exponentially. Warrants have been going absolutely insane. You guys can see up from the low right now, they're up 54%, and at the peak they were up 90%. So decent gains here from the warrants, and the closer GME gets to 32, the more intrinsic value those warrants are going to have. So I'm very, very bullish on GME and GME warrants. I think we're going to see a green week, but we could see a potential pullback to the downside towards that 2183, 2204 level, and then push to the upside. And it doesn't have to be this long drawn out process that I have shown here. It could actually happen quite quickly, where you see GME just simply start to pull back hard, fill that gap, and then kind of V-shape back to the upside. So this is what I'm looking at for GME. I think we are going to see a green week. I did predict a green week in the last weekly outlook and prediction. We did get that green week, and I think we're going to see a green week here for GME again. So that's what we're looking at for GME. Right now, we have 4.7 million short shares at a cost of borrow of 0.44%, and GME short interest is sitting at 16.90%. Now, AMC, what do we think is going to be happening here for AMC? I think AMC is going to be consolidating around this 225 level and $2.30 in this range, which it has been doing. I think $2.25 is going to hold, and I think AMC is about to push back up towards $2.30. Now the key is, once AMC breaks and holds $2.30, we should see a decent push to the upside. You guys can see right now AMC is definitely in a consolidation phase. I think it's going to hold $2.25 and start to move to the upside. And I think even though we have this vote coming up, now the thing is, a lot of it's priced in, but I don't think it's going to either rip or dump. I think there's going to be a lot of volatility, but I think AMC has a chance to actually move to the upside, believe it or not, guys. So I do think we're going to see a green week here for AMC, but this vote is going to be huge. I know I talked about a chance of AMC even decoupling from GME. That is a possibility if the yes vote comes into play, and later down the road, I'm not talking about immediately, but on the macro, and they start diluting, because we have to understand 550 million shares is insane, ladies and gentlemen. That's so many shares added to the float. You already know that I voted no. We did the poll, and the poll showed that a lot of you guys voted no as well. A lot of you guys, and I understand the yes voters are scared, or they think we're going to go bankrupt. But me personally, in the video I did, I debunked every single reason why a yes vote makes no sense, and I talked about some of it early in this video. I can't dive into that every single video, but every video I drop, there's people commenting or unsubscribing and explaining the yes vote. But it's all things that I showed you guys makes no sense. But AMC, I think, is going to hold 225, and I think there is a little bit of hope here for AMC based off the technicals I'm seeing, guys. Now, there is a chance that we do have to pull back down here towards $2.20 and $2.15 if we lose 225, but from what I'm seeing here, we're about to consolidate and push back to the upside. We have this green MACD daily time frame. RSI got extremely oversold. We just broke above this sloping support and resistance, which is ending the overall downtrend that we're in. So I think AMC is going to consolidate around this 225 level and push up. But I don't think we're going to see a lot of movement until the day of the vote or we get an answer from it. So be ready for that. We might not even get an answer this week. It might be later, like Thursday or Friday, but be ready for that. Definitely going to cause some volatility for AMC. But overall, I think we're going to be seeing a green week. So this is what we're looking at for AMC stock and GME stock. Let's just quickly go to shares available to short. You guys can see not that many, 1.9 million at a cost of borrow of 0.48. They have been low on shares recently. Last week and probably heading into this week, they could potentially be low as well. And then AMC short interest right now at time of recording is sitting at 10.49%. Let's go ahead and move into SPY and the overall market. Show you guys what's going on there. So SPY is breaking out of a macro accumulation pattern. As you guys can see, we had this push to the upside. We had this bullish accumulation, and we are now breaking out of that. I think SPY is going to push up to 687, 687.80 in my personal opinion. That's going to be happening this week. I think SPY is going to have a green week in my personal opinion, but we do have crazy data drops. We have jolts happening on Tuesday, okay? Then we have Fed interest rate decisions, FOMC projections, Fed press conference. It's going to be crazy. And we have PPI here. First, it starts on Tuesday. We have jolts. Wednesday, we have Fed interest rate decisions, FOMC economic projections, and a press conference from the Fed. Expect massive volatility. With massive volatility becomes huge opportunities to make gains. So this week is the time for you guys SPY traders. I know I got a lot of SPY traders out there and people that play calls, play puts. This is the time to make that bread because volatility is going to be up. Yes, options will be a little bit more expensive, but it comes with the game. Then we have PPI coming out here on Thursday, and that's an absolutely huge data drop as well, and you want to pay close attention to that. As far as I'm concerned, though, SPY should be mostly bullish through the beginning of the week, and then maybe heading into the end of the week, see pullback. But I think we're going to see a decent green week here for SPY. Now, as you guys can see, I have this prediction for NASDAQ, and NASDAQ has this gap fill to the upside. The gap has not get filled. I believe we're going to push up, start to slowly top out here on NASDAQ and pull back. NASDAQ's really the stock that you really need to look at, the index I should say, because this is where everything's really, really, really concentrated at. SPY is heavily made up of NASDAQ components as well, but it also has more companies. NASDAQ is where the AI is really concentrated, and this is really what's been driving this massive rally. And that's why people kind of think this is a bubble, because it's all consolidated mostly into the indexes, where the index are seeing gains, and then anything attached with AI are seeing gains. Also the way that people are spending money and sending it out, like Nvidia's just circulating money, and I broke that all down in a tweet as well. So again, also Michael Burry's short, as you guys can see, Michael Burry's short, but like, as you guys can see, they just send money to other companies and then the companies buy back. So it's just Nvidia's money circulating, and I broke that all down here. Michael Burry's short Nvidia right now. So again, we could be getting close to a top in my personal opinion, especially because if you go ahead and look at the monthly RSIs here, you guys can see here on the monthly RSIs, we're deep into overbought territory. Normally when you see that, you have these deeper pullbacks, and that's on SPY and NASDAQ. And then on the weekly time frame, we're starting to get bearish momentum. As you guys can see, red MACD RSI trending down on SPY, red MACD RSI trending down on NASDAQ. So yeah, I think we're going to push up, potentially make even new all-time highs coming here soon for the indexes. But I believe the indexes have a reckoning day coming and are going to see a steep pullback when the potential AI bubble pops. But this is what we're looking at for SPY and everything you need to know, data drops and all that. As far as technicals are concerned, I think SPY is going to be pushing up to at least 687, 687.80. Once we break above 687.80 and hold that, we could definitely push towards 689. We have major resistance at 689.78 though. There's a huge chance that in the morning pre-market you see a little bit of run up here and excitement pre-market. you'll probably see a drop down from that where SPY finds support and then is able to push up. So it could start off slow in the beginning. You might get a lot of excitement pre-market, then that fake out to the downside, bear trap. But I think we're going to be pushing up to at least 687, 687.80, possibly even 688 this week, and we're going to have a green week for SPY. I'll be surprised if we do go past 689.78, but it is possible, and I'll be looking for that. But that is one of my max price targets for SPY for this week. So this is what we're looking at for SPY in the overall market. Let's go ahead and move into BTC crypto, show you guys what's going on there, and then we will wrap up this video. So Bitcoin recovering right now. As you guys can see, Bitcoin pushing back up towards 91,500. If you go ahead and pop on this BTC chart that I have here, it shows that we're potentially going to consolidate and push back to the upside. And there's a lot of things why I agree this is very, very possible. As you guys can see, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of buy orders here at this 80 to 88K, 89K region, okay? So this is an accumulation range. I think that Bitcoin is also following this fractal. This fractal's been tracking all of this time since the original bull run. Then you drop down, but this fractal came from this move here, and it's been tracking this whole time. We've also had bull flags and falling wedges that also indicated movements to the upside as well, and come from the fractal. So when you see technicals confirm fractals like this, that is very, very good. And you guys can see this fractal pushes up above 100K and then gets a nasty spring to the upside. If the fractal were to continue putting us back above the bull market trend line and then taking us back out of it quickly, but that would be a time where people could exit that did miss this overall top that we did call out on this channel. So if you do hold Bitcoin, hold crypto, definitely lock in, like, and subscribe, because we've been very, very accurate here for BTC and crypto. But I think we're going to consolidate around this 80 to 90K region and then push back to the upside over 100K. If you see Bitcoin break 100K and hold it, that's a sign that the bull run is back on. Now, also other things that are thinking me lead that we're going to see bullishness is, first of all, crypto fear and greed. We're in extreme fear. When others are fearful, be greedy. When others are greedy, be fearful. Extreme greed normally marks bottoms, and extreme greed and extreme fear normally marks tops. So this is definitely time to accumulate as well based off the crypto fear and greed. Also, we have a ton of bullish news happening for crypto. The USA is becoming very pro crypto. We also have the spot ETF for XRP. I think key coins like XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin are going to do very, very well. Coins that have ETFs. A lot more ETFs are coming on board, but they got delayed from that government shutdown. There was supposed to be a month, October, where we saw a lot of ETFs, but we're getting the spot ETF news from the XRP spot ETF that's on the NASDAQ, and it's pulling in numbers, ladies and gentlemen. So people are accumulating, all right? Don't be fooled. People are accumulating right now. Do not be fooled. We're seeing this on multiple signs that the inflow streak is just continuing. So again, I think people are buying XRPs at a great buy price right now. I think people are accumulating between $2 and $2.20. Anything under $2 is an absolute steal over XRP. I don't think XRP is going to be losing $2 in my personal opinion. I think we're going to consolidate, and then XRP is going to start pushing back up towards new all-time highs once Bitcoin starts moving back up as well. Again, you might want to watch Bitcoin all the time because Bitcoin dominance is so high that it controls the overall market. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 57.1% right now. Also, Bitcoin's market cap is mostly the entire market cap for the entire crypto market. So this is why Bitcoin controls a lot of the movements. If Bitcoin moves up, then altcoins will be able to move up. If Bitcoin moves down, then altcoins move down. Normally, if Bitcoin's up like 5%, then altcoins can run like 10, 15%. If Bitcoin's down 10%, then altcoins would be down like 20, 25%. So normally the moves in altcoins are exacerbated. Me personally, I think the crypto market's going to consolidate. I think there's always going to be coins that pop up and stuff like that, but I think a lot of these meme coins are going to fade out in the macro, and I think only top projects are going to be lasting. That's why I invest in only the top 100 altcoins, and most of mine are the top altcoins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, ADA, Solana, those are the coins that I focus on and accumulate. But me personally, I'm in crypto for the long term, and I am bullish for crypto in the long term. I think we're going to see an accumulation and movement back to the upside, and I don't think we're going to be seeing those bearish price targets of 60 to 75K. I think we're actually going to hold the 80K floor and move back to the upside from there. Again, you showed us a brief capitulation here where we drop back down to 80, maybe a little bit lower, but I think 80 overall is going to hold, and we're going to see movement back up here for BTC, and right now is the time to accumulate. So this is your weekly outlook prediction for stocks and crypto, ladies and gentlemen. If you found this video informative, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. So few people make it to the end, and that helps me out with the algorithm. Leave a comment down below if you want to help the channel, share the video, and as always, y'all, make sure you do this. Have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out, fam.